Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This one we're going to take a deep dive into the new Fury 3 medals and how it's going to change the game, and probably not for the reason that you think. These are a big deal. These are also going to be a bigger deal for people that understand these and set up good medals. There's going to be, I'll explain more later, but if you pay attention and save your medals and get the medals and set your characters up, you're going to be a problem for a lot of people. And it might not readily be apparent. I think initially most people just look at the Fury 3 medals and they're like, ooh, I'm going to hit way harder. Well, is that actually true in an apples to apples comparison? If you're going against people with Fury 2 medals, so the norm, most characters use gem damage, right? And the norm is you're fighting people with a set of Fury 2s. That's normal. Now, a bunch of times when you're fighting someone with Fury 2s, they don't have a percentage gem defense or a percentage move defense, right? They may or may not. It doesn't super matter because the percentage isn't huge. Now they will always have a percentage defense, and it is quite large. I'm going to put up a couple graphics here as I'm talking about this to cover the gems, because the stats themselves maybe not quite as big a deal as you think. Really, the easiest way to explain this, so on a set of Fury 2s, right, you have a 35% gem boost from the gem damage, a 200% move damage from the move damage, 27.5% gem defense on the gem defense one, and 27.5 move defense on the move defense one. If you have a double set bonus, you get 80% total. So your total gem damage is the 35 and the 80%. That's 115% gem damage. And then you have a reduction of if you're fighting somebody with the same set, right? And right now, there's a good chance they don't even have a percentage, right? Your net gain is 87.5% fighting someone with the exact same medals. Now your move damage, your net gain is 172.5% fighting somebody with the same medals. And almost for sure they really don't care about the move defense, right? They want better sub stats and that sort of thing. So now if you take a look at what Fury 3s are and why I say that for people that are smart and save their medals, set their characters up really well, it's going to be a problem. If you look at the gem damage, it does increase to 45% on the gem damage one. That's up 10%. Move damage, oh my gosh, it goes up 50%. That's huge, right? Well, let's find out. Gem defense goes up a whopping 80%, and everyone using Fury 3s will have this, assuming they max the medal. And you're going to need to, or if you're smart, you will definitely max the medal. But look at move defense. It went all the way up from 27.5% to 150%. Now that's guaranteed, folks. As long as people have the medals equipped and level them up, these two stats are guaranteed. They will have that defense all the time. You will see them all the time. Your set bonus total goes up 20%, so it goes all the way up to 100%, which makes your total gem damage 145%, or your net gain when you're fighting against somebody with Fury 3s 65%. So it's actually going down 22.5%. Now imagine in reverse, you have Fury 2s and you're fighting somebody with Fury 3s. That's going to be a problem because you had before 115 total gem damage percentage. Now, even if they're using Fury 2s to take advantage of their best offensive set, they're going to have 80% gem defense, which is going to bring you down to a net gain of 35%. Oh, and just talking about move damage, taking an even bigger hit, your net move damage is 100%. So that's down 72.5%. So if you, all things being equal, the sooner you get your sets, the sooner people get their sets. So this is even like important to like whales, big spenders. They're going to have to think about this stuff, right? Because you're going to go against somebody with Fury 3s and you have Fury 3s and you're actually going to get hit less hard than you do now with Fury 2s going against somebody with Fury 2s. Hopefully you understand that. So you are never going to see me do a preview with Fury 3s because it will skew the damage so bad. You're never going to hit that hard against equal people. Fury 3s against people with Fury 2s is you're going to demolish them, right? But that's not an apples to apples comparison. That's not what you're going to hit when you're going against people with Fury 3s. It's actually going to be weaker than Fury 2s. You're going to hit weaker. Even though they're stronger, when you're fighting someone with equal metals, you're going to hit for less. I hope you understand how I'm explaining that and that makes sense. So when you see previews now, if people are using Fury 3s, you can just completely ignore that damage. It's completely wrong. You're not going to hit that hard until we get people on the road that have Fury 3s to compare apples to apples. You're simply not going to be capable of hitting that hard against people with the equivalent level stuff. Now, let's drop these down. I hope I've explained that well. When you look at these substats, and this is where it really gets interesting, right? So most of the time, what do you need? All you need is one specific color for gem damage and one specific color for move damage, which leaves options to slot in all gem defense, all move damage, or all health. Health percentage. I don't have a health percentage one here to show you, but these are just some examples of how metals rolled. Here we have all gem defense of 15%, 19%, move defense of 37.2%. And then you can see the move damage does go up nicely, 33, and gem damage up 20% on all gem damage, which is really good. Black gem damage 31%. So substats look like you should be able to get in the 20 to 30% range. I would say pretty steadily. But at the same time, you can now put a gem defense on every metal. So now you're getting 20% here, 20% here, 20 here, 20 here. That's another 80% gem defense. On top of your base 80, that's 160%. Now the people with Fury 2s aren't doing anything. So that's what I mean by if you save your metals and set your characters up smart, it's definitely no longer an apples to apples comparison. If you thought metals played a big deal now, it's a massive difference with Fury 3s. I personally like it as somebody who feels like they think about the game and do that kind of stuff. I think it's a really nice addition. Because setting up your characters with the proper metals, you're also, because it's all percentage, you're going to have way more options as you get more metals and you have like vitality in there. So initially you might think, oh my gosh, Fury 3s, the game is getting, and that was my initial thought, we don't need more damage, it's getting more out of control. But really, it's not that. These bring things back more equally. However, the problem is this is going to be a case, if these are hard to get, and I'm assuming they will be hard to get, it's going to be a severe case of haves and have-nots. You're going to try and fight people with Fury 3s and you're going to get your head kicked in. Other than people that can hit ridiculously hard, right? And that's myself included. So like, for the huge whales out there, if they get these up, they set them right, they have a bunch of metals, you're going to go to hit them and you're going to be like, where's all my damage? So definitely get on board with these Fury 3s early and often. I don't think it's worth like spending a ton of money to obtain them. This kind of stuff should be available in contests and things like that. There might be a short period where, you know, they're taxing the people that want everything right away, right? I'm not going to FOMO about them. I'll get them as I get them. I'll build sets as I can build them, because it's going to take a while before it trickles down, you know, for me, sort of thing, and it becomes a huge problem. But so for any of the like showdowns and feud, this will be a problem. Obviously for boss, none of this applies. So if you want to see boss damage, yeah, you can use Fury 3s on a preview and then go hit. That's assuming they don't crank some kind of stat on boss. I don't know. They may do that too, for all I know. But the point is, it's no longer apples to apples comparison. And it's a huge, huge difference, a huge gap. And just to show you again, before your net gem was 87.5. That's fighting somebody with Fury 2s when you have Fury 2s, and that's assuming they bothered to get their percentages, which a lot of people, myself included, don't, because it was small enough it didn't matter. I'll just go more offense. Whichever is the better offense by a few percent I'll take. Now, it's always going to be 80%, right? So 87.5 as opposed to 65, 172.5 as opposed to 100. Move damage takes a huge hit. So yeah, and I'll do a similar breakdown with takedown. Armor, I don't think is going to be as impactful as a lot of people think. Sure, there's certain characters like Jacob Fatu and stuff like that. Maybe if you can roll more armor stats across the board on all four, gem defense, possibly. We'll have to see where that goes. That's going to take a bunch of testing for me to know for sure. But with the size of the kickout boosts and stuff, unless you can get them to 0, which I think will be extremely difficult with all the offensive buffs we have. As far as on gem damage people, on move damage people, it won't be hard. You'll be able to like win with probably a 3 swipe on move damage people. But on gem damage, completely offensive, I don't think you'll be able to. But I haven't deep dived into that, so that's just initial thoughts. I also haven't deep dived into takedowns yet to see, where it goes as far as the net comparisons. But as far as gem damage goes, you're going to hit less hard against somebody with Fury 3s. So make sure when you're watching previews, if people are using Fury 3s, you have to account for that. You're not going to hit near that hard going against people with Fury 3s. So I won't be using them at all in my previews because I think it's going to skew your expectations massively. And when you run into people with these, you're just going to get your, yeah, it's going to be something for sure. So yeah, gem buffs are going to be huge, even huger. And now like it'll change probably. Those borderline people, when you're going against people with Fury 3s, won't get it done. You're going to need people that are overkilling a little bit. So where 60 million maybe was good enough, it's probably going to be the equivalent of 70 or 80 million, what you're going to need to hit to be good enough. There's still plenty of characters that are able to achieve this quickly. But again, this is all just based off of what I'm looking at. As I get more medals and can start stacking stats, it'll be really interesting to see. But you're going to want to save every medal and really be cognizant of those combos that you're going to be able to put together to make your character a problem to deal with. So the great thing about this is you can set up offensively, and without losing or sacrificing offense, you can add some defensive stuff. But I'm assuming health will be the same way. Like you can roll like 20 to 30%, like a lot of these stats you're seeing. Now imagine you're adding 120% health, 120% health. So you're taking a showboat that's base is like 70 million, and now they have 150 million just from those medals. That's without vitality. Then you put a couple Hall of Fame trainers on there, 1 or 2, or Cody at coach. Now you're looking at, 160, 170, 180 million health showboats out there. And you will see that for sure. And that is actually going to be interesting. I actually kind of really like it because so much has been just look at something and destroy it, which is kind of silly. So I think these medals actually, shockingly, look like these are going to help to balance the game more. I initial thought, I thought it was going to imbalance it even more with the medals, but yeah, I think it's going to balance the game more, and you're going to have to account for them and think about them when you're building your characters and stuff. So initially I like it. Hopefully their availability is good. Very curious what you guys think. Did you notice this? Is this something you've thought about, talked about? What do you think? Let me know in the comments, and remember to like, subscribe, and share. I will probably do a breakdown on takedown and also armor soon to follow. I think this is very, very interesting. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and good luck out there. Woo! These are, yeah, these are a big deal. Oh, make sure and share with your faction. I think this is really important. People need to know this stuff. It's going to be incredibly impactful.